finding area using multiplication and division. So area is the total units it takes to fill up a space, the total square units it takes. And so we want to fill up the inside of a space. So when we're looking at this area model, even though it does not have a grid, it does not have an array on the inside of it in terms of square units, we still have enough information the area of the square is. Area has a formula. Area is the same as the length times width. How long it is by how wide it is will tell me how many squares it takes to fill up the inside. And so that's what this formula means right here. So if I have area and I'm looking for it, and I know that the width here is 7 and the length is 8, I can write this out as a multiplication sentence and figure it out later. Now, I've taught you many strategies to how to figure out multiplication problems, but one of probably the most helpful is when you don't know a bigger number, break it in half and use what you know about doubles. If you can figure out what 7 times 4 is, or even if you didn't know, if you can figure out what 7 times 2 is, you know that 7 times 2, you just double 7 and that gets you 14. Well, because 4 is double 2, you could double 14 to get the answer to 7 times 4 when it's the same number that one of the factors is the same. And so 14 plus 14 would give me 28. And then because 8 is double 4, and I'm multiplying by the same factor of 7, factors are the numbers that you multiply together to get the product, you could double the product of 7 times 4, which is 28 plus 28. And when you do that, you get 56. So these are some strategies to solve problems with bigger numbers that you're not so comfortable with. And so I know that the area of this rectangle is 56 square centimeters, and putting that down. Now, if I wanted to use the same thing in a division problem, sometimes you will know the area of a rectangle. They will give you that and give you one side, and then we're left to figure out what the other side could be. So I know that the area of this rectangle is 45 square centimeters, and I know one side is 5 square centimeters. So my job is to use this information. Now, because I know that area equals the length times the width, if I plugged in the information I know that 45 is the area, and I know that the width is 5, and my job is just to figure out what L is. The opposite of multiplication is division, and they kind of are in a fact family, or the related facts that will help you figure out the answer. So I know that if I divide 45 by 5, I can figure out what L is. So 45 divided by 5. If you didn't know what that is, or you don't have that memorized, you could simply count by 5 until you get to 45. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And after you get finished counting, you can count how many times you had to count by 5 to get to 45. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 times I had to count by 5. So 45 divided by 5 is 9. And therefore, up here, when I'm filling in my variable of L, I can say that L equals 9 square centimeters. And that is using multiplication and division to find out either the area or the unknown of one side.